Hello everyone, good evening. So welcome to our YouTube channel. So today we are going to solve a guess estimate problem. So the today's question would be, let's say, how or instead of going how, let me just type it over here. I think that would be better. Yeah. So estimate the number of cars in Delhi. So this would be a question. So we'll be just trying to solve how to estimate number of cars in Delhi. So before going further, to begin with this question, so we'll have some assumption. So we'll have some assumption. Okay. So the first assumption I'll be having is whether should I take Delhi or Delhi NCR. And the second estimation, is there any specific car type? And the third, whether it is a personal car or whether it is a cab or a taxi. Taxis. So before solving this particular question, we'll be having three assumptions. So one, so the first assumption, whether we have to choose Delhi or Delhi NCR, any specific cars, or whether the car is a personal car or cab or taxi. And next, how do we approach? So let us assume that we'll be seeing is Delhi. Just a second. Yeah. So we'll go with Delhi, and there are no any specific. So we'll be taking all the types of car. We'll also consider the personal cars. Okay. So based on this, we'll be going. So how do we approach? So how do we approach? So we approach them with, so as I said, we'll be taking the assumption of Delhi. So the first thing we'll be taking is, we'll assume that we'll be solving is, assume that the city is Delhi. And the second one, all types of cars. And the third one, we'll be taking only personal car. So to solve this, we need to know what is the number of, or let's say, population of Delhi. So let's see. So the population of Delhi is 33 million. So 33 million is nothing but it is 3.3 crores. Now, once we find what is the population of Delhi, now we need to approach the second, which is all types of car. We need to calculate what is the number of cars are there. So let's say to calculate how many cars are there in one particular household. So we need to calculate number of households. So we need to calculate number of households. So the one of the household might have one car and few of the households might be having two cars. Okay. So let us assume on an average. Okay, on an average, members in household in Delhi is four. So there might be mother, father, and two kids. So let us assume on an average per a household there would be four members. Now to find how many households are there in Delhi. So we'll be finding number of households in Delhi. So for this, we'll have a formula, which is population divided by average member in household. Okay. So then what would be the average members? So we'll be dividing 3.3. So which is equal to 3.3 divided by 4. So when I divide, population is 3.3 crores, and when I divide it by 4, then I'll be getting a particular amount. So that is number of households in Delhi is equals to. So if we calculate, we'll be getting 82.5 lakhs. So these many households are present in Delhi. Now, once we calculated how many households are in Delhi, now we'll assume. So we'll categorize these households on certain basis. So let's segment it. So we'll segment the number of households. Let's say we might have a 4 category. So let's say we might be having below poverty, and then we might be having lower middle, and then we'll be having upper middle, and then we'll be having upper or rich. Okay, let us assume on an average, let's say there would be 20% of population people who are below poverty, and let's say over here there might be 30% population, and for upper middle we might have 30% of population, and upper or rich we might have 20% of the population. So out of 3.3 crores, there would be 20% of the people, population would be below poverty, and mostly, so everyone, like most of the population is only the middle. So middle thing. So lower would be 30% and upper middle would be 30% of the population. And then we have upper or rich, which is 20% population. So we'll be dividing this on the base of income. So I'll just type it over here. So we'll divide these cater we'll divide them on the basis of income. So as I said, we have below poverty, which is 20% of population. And then we have lower poverty, which is 20% of, which is 30% of population. And then we have the middle. So poverty, let me give middle, yes. So these are also 30% population. Then we have upper or rich, which is 20% population. Okay. Now, so let's say that there would be very less. So when you compare with other members, households owning cars, there would be very less number of cars owning by uh, below poverty and lower middle. Like let's say that lower middle, let's say 1 or 2% of them might own a car. So the like if you calculate the percentage, it would be very less. So we'll consider these two. So first two will be we don't consider, we'll neglect it, because if you consider also very 1 or 2% of lower middle people population only will be having, households will be having car. So we'll won't consider that. We'll be considering the last two, which is upper middle and upper rich. So these two population will be considering. Now we need to calculate how many households are there in upper middle. So we need to calculate how many households are there in upper middle and upper rich. So how do I calculate? So I'll be calculating with the formula. So what is the formula? Number of households into population. Then what would be for upper middle? So for upper middle, then the population would be, we have 82.5 into, so 30% of the population. So I'll be giving 0.30, which is equals to, I'll be getting 24.75 lakhs. And for upper rich, I'll be getting 82.5 into, so we have 20%, so 0.20, which is equals to, I'll be getting around 16.5 lakhs. Okay. Now we have find what is the house population of upper middle and upper rich. Now we need to calculate per household how many cars are there. So now we'll be calculating per household how many cars are there. So how do we calculate this particular question? So assume. So let me assume that, so 100% of upper middle will have one car. Let's say our 100% of upper middle has one car. Okay. So will I'll give has one car. Now, so when it comes to upper rich, so few people might have two cars and few people might have one car. So similarly we'll categorize the rich into two bases or into two segments. So what are that? So let's say that 70% of the population is, or 70% of the population has two cars and 30% of the population has one car. Okay. Now calculate how many, or let's say total number of cars in Delhi. So how do I calculate? So we will be calculating with the formula. So I'll explain a formula over here. So we'll be calculating total number of cars in Delhi, which is equals to number of households in upper middle. So we have how many households in upper middle? So we have around, let's say 24.75 lakhs. Am I right? So is equals to 24.75 into how many cars will they have? One. Now, next, plus, and then per we have upper rich. So upper rich, they might have two categories. As I said, 70% of population have two cars. So how do I calculate? So I'll be calculating it 16.5. So the total household population of upper rich into 70%, that is 0.70 into 2. So how many cars? Two cars. So this is for cars. Plus, then again 16.5 into 0.30 into 1, because only 30% of the population has one car. Now, when you calculate this, you will be getting the value. Let me take, so I'll be giving, let's say 24.75 into 1 plus, then we have 16.5 into 0.70 into 2 plus, and then we have 16.5 into 0.30 into 1. Okay. So when I calculate, so is equals to, so what will I be getting? So I'll be getting over here 24.75 plus, then I have 16.5 into 0.75, I'll be getting 11.5 into 2 plus, then if I calculate 16.5 into 0.30, then I'll be getting 4.95 into 1. So which is equals to 24.75 plus, then if I calculate, I'll be getting 23.10 plus 4.95. So which is equals to, I'll be getting around 52.80. So total number of cars in Delhi is equals to 52.80 lakhs. So total number of cars would be 52.80 lakhs cars. So this is how you solve this problem using guess estimator. So I hope you would understand this particular sequence. So based on this sequence, so you can also assume that maybe 60 percentage of the cars would be two cars, or maybe 40 percentage of the cars would be one car. So this is totally based on your assumption. So you can assume according to it and you can find it. So this is how you solve these kind of solutions. Thank you guys. I hope you understand how to solve these kind of guess estimation problem. Thank you. So please follow our channel. Thank you.